In the shadowy depths of the Arctic, a research team led by Steve stumbled upon a hidden cavern within a colossal iceberg. As they entered, the icy walls shimmered with the luster of untouched gemstones, setting the stage for an extraordinary discovery. Equipped with high-tech gear, the team ventured deeper into the icy labyrinth, their breaths visible in the frigid air. The cave was eerily quiet except for the crunch of their boots on the hard snow and the distant drip of melting ice. As they rounded a bend, a collective gasp escaped from the group. Before them lay an expansive underground lake, its surface a perfect mirror reflecting the cavern's majestic icy ceiling. It was an impossible beauty in such a desolate place. "Keep your distance," Steve warned, his voice barely above a whisper, awed by the spectacle. But Richard, always the maverick of the group, was drawn irresistibly closer. "Guys, you've got to see this," he called softly, beckoning the others. As the others hesitated, Richard, compelled by a mix of curiosity and defiance, reached out to touch the water. "Rich!" No, Steve's shout echoed off the walls, but it was too late. The moment Richard's fingers broke the surface, he jolted back with a scream, collapsing onto the icy floor, his body convulsing. Panic ensued as the team rushed to his side. While they tried to revive him, a low, ominous hum began to resonate from deeper within the cave, sending chills down their spines. What secrets did this hidden lake hold? And what was the source of that unnerving sound? Realizing the gravity of the situation, Steve barked orders to exit the cave. "Monica, go get help," he directed as they carried Richard's limp form out of the cave. Once outside, Monica sprinted across the icy landscape to call for a rescue helicopter. As the helicopter whisked Richard to safety, the rest of the team was left with a burning question: what had caused his collapse? Their scientific minds buzzed with theories, from electrically charged waters to unknown toxins. But the cave called to them with its unexplored depths and mysterious hum. With renewed determination, the team re-entered the cave. This time, they noticed an opening behind the lake, a possible source of the strange sounds. Steve, against the protests of his team, decided they needed to explore further. "We need to see what's in there," he insisted, his voice firm, despite the palpable tension. Equipping themselves with climbing gear, the team carefully navigated around the lake, their path illuminated by the eerie glow of their headlamps. As they traversed the icy surface, the hum grew louder, almost like a call beckoning them forward. Finally, they reached the other side of the lake and discovered a narrow tunnel leading into the darkness. "Stay sharp," Steve instructed, as they pressed on. The light from their headlamps flickered across the walls, revealing strange markings that suggested they were not the first to explore this hidden realm. Deeper inside, they found a lit candle, its flame dancing as if recently disturbed. "Someone's been here," Richard whispered hoarsely, having regained consciousness but still weak. The realization hit them all at once they were not alone. Deciding to split up to cover more ground, Steve and Nikki took one tunnel while Monica and Richard took another. As they delved deeper, each step was fraught with the unknown. Suddenly, footsteps echoed through the cavern, approaching fast. Steve and Nikki quickly hid behind a large rock, holding their breath as the footsteps neared. Just when they thought they were discovered, the footsteps retreated. They waited for a tense moment before continuing, their hearts pounding. But their relief was short-lived. Without warning, bags were thrown over their heads, and rough hands dragged them away. What the Steve's protest was cut off as he was shoved forward. Blindfolded and disoriented, Steve and Nikki were interrogated in a dimly lit room. "Who are you? Why are you following us?" demanded a gruff voice. Despite their fear, they explained they were scientists, just there to study the ice. But their captors were skeptical. Meanwhile, Monica and Richard, unaware of the others' plight, encountered their own dangers. They stumbled upon signs of habitation, makeshift tools, and a detailed map etched in the ice. Before they could explore further, they too were captured by armed inhabitants of the cave. Reunited in captivity, the team faced their captors with a mix of fear and determination. "We mean no harm," Steve insisted, trying to communicate their peaceful intentions. Slowly, the ice began to thaw between the two groups as the captors shared their story of seeking refuge from the world above. As understanding grew, so did respect. The captors revealed the secret of the electric water, a natural defense powered by eels. Astonished, the team marveled at the ingenuity of the cave dwellers, promising to keep their existence a secret. Conversations flowed, and what started as a harrowing encounter turned into an exchange of knowledge and mutual respect. The team was eventually allowed to leave, their promise to keep the secret intact, forever changed by the hidden world they had briefly become a part of. As the team emerged from the cave, the crisp Arctic air felt like a sharp slap against their cheeks, a stark contrast to the oppressive atmosphere of the tunnels. Despite the ordeal, their spirits soared with the thrill of their incredible discovery and the peaceful resolution of their encounter. The ride back to their base camp was quiet, each member lost in thought, pondering the extraordinary events. Back at camp, the team gathered around the warmth of a portable heater, their bodies thawing as they debriefed. Steve organized their notes and photographs, careful to exclude any evidence that might lead others back to the cave dwellers. "We need to protect their secrecy, just as we promised," he asserted, his voice carrying a weight of responsibility they all felt. The discussion turned to the scientific aspects of their findings. The electrically charged lake, possibly due to the bioelectric eels they had briefly discussed with the cave dwellers, presented a fascinating topic for research that could advance their understanding of bioelectricity in extreme environments. However, they agreed to obscure the location and some details to prevent any unwarranted intrusion into the cave. Richard, fully recovered now, was particularly intrigued by the physiological effects he had experienced when he touched the water. "It felt like every nerve in my body was on fire," and then nothing, he recalled, shivering at the memory. The team speculated that the eel's electric fields could have therapeutic applications, although much more research would be needed. Monica focused on the anthropological significance of the cave dwellers. "Their society has adapted in ways we couldn't have imagined. They've developed their own culture, tools, and even a defense system, all isolated from the world," she noted, her eyes wide with wonder. Her recordings of their chants and stories could provide invaluable insights into how human societies adapt to extreme isolation and environments. As the days passed, the team prepared their research paper, carefully wording their discoveries to honor their commitment to the cave dwellers. They shared their findings on the unique ice formations and the bioelectric aspects of the lake at a closed scientific conference, receiving accolades for their innovative work and respectful approach to the ethical dilemmas they had faced. However, the secret of the cave dwellers weighed heavily on them. Nikki, who had formed a subtle bond with one of the younger inhabitants, felt particularly torn. "I keep thinking about the life they've chosen, or maybe the life that chose them. There's so much more we could learn from each other," she mused one evening as they sat watching the aurora borealis dance across the sky. Steve nodded, understanding her conflict. "I know, but we have to respect their wishes. They've found peace away from the world's chaos. It's not our place to disrupt that." Months later, the team published their findings, omitting sensitive details but hinting at the profound impact of their adventure. Their story resonated in the scientific community, stirring discussions on the ethics of exploration and the delicate balance between discovery and respect. Back home, as life returned to normal, each member of the team found themselves changed. The mysterious beauty of the cave and its inhabitants had left an indelible mark on their hearts and minds. They continued their research, driven by new questions and a renewed sense of purpose, always mindful of the hidden society that continued to thrive in the icy depths of the Arctic, guarded by the electric waters of a secluded lake. Their adventure had ended, but the stories of the cave dwellers and the electric lake lived on in their work and whispers, a poignant reminder of the unseen wonders that lie hidden in the world's most remote corners.